We're going to start with Alistair Hand, who started Zoombu, which is a door-to-door travel journey planner, but obviously he can explain much better than me, so could you join me in welcoming Alistair?
And there are several good reasons. One of them is money. There's loads of it, £10,000, loads and loads of cash. And what that enabled us to do at Zoombu, having sort of been one of the finalists and winners, was to fund the company for the sort of first 6 months or so. We used this fund going to conferences, getting a domain, putting together all the various things you need to do, business costs, incorporating the company and such, all that's thrown in now as well. So the money was really useful. But there's also loads of publicity around the event. So afterwards there was, well, before the event was press coverage, like both the winning teams before we won were on BBC TV doing like a news interview. There was coverage in the Daily Telegraph, Oxford Mail, BBC Radio Oxford. So it was a really good chance to get you and your idea out there, and if you've sort of got a name for your business, get it publicised all over the place for free. So that's really good too. But there's also the validation of you and the idea together. So going through the process, you get to sort of hone your idea and tune it and learn stuff. And if you're one of the winners, you're one of the finalists, people really value that. I've gone to meetings with investors, and these guys are sort of worth hundreds of millions, some of them. They've got loads and loads of money. And you say, oh, I was a finalist in an idea competition at Oxford University, or I won an idea competition at Oxford University. It really makes it go, wow, that's quite hard. It's extraordinary, but it's really valued. And there's also the validation to you, because when I was pitching this Idea Idol back in sort of February of last year, I was sort of looking to apply for jobs and things after I finished my course. And it sort of gave me this sort of validation, okay, well these people think that it's a good idea and I'm the person to take this forward, and they're going to give me money to do it. And so it's not just validation of sort of you to at the outside, it's also validation back to you that you should go on and do it. And say, I haven't gone and got a job, and I've gone and founded the company, and we've gone and raised some more money, we've got another person working full time, we're looking to make another new hire soon, we're launching a beta version of our product in February. I mean, it's really just a great route to getting your sort of idea out there and actually going forwards. So how many people have actually got an idea that they want to run with, like one idea? Okay, who's got loads of ideas, like 3 or 4? Okay, who's got no idea what they're going to do? Okay, that's pretty good. So the good thing is there's no limit to how many ideas you can sort of submit. So it's always it's worthwhile to think about other ways you can come up with ideas. And the 2 ways I like to do this are, one of them is look at what sucks, what's broken, what doesn't work in the world, and try and find that problem, and then we can think about coming up with a solution. So for me, what it was with Zoombu was I was sitting in the lab one day, and my lab mate was spent all morning trying to book a trip from Oxford to Glasgow. And he was looking at breaking the ticket in different places, going by trains, getting a return to Birmingham and back, and a return from Birmingham to Glasgow, going through this, would it be cheaper to fly and all this, and spending hours doing it. And it was just taking him ages, and it was just a really frustrating process. I thought, well actually, he's not the only guy. I was planning a trip to Rome, and that was also, just took ages. All the information's out there on the web, but how are we going to bring it all together? And that was the kind of that was the genesis of this is the problem, how do we fix it? Now, there are different ways you can approach to how you'll fix the problem. Now, one of them I quite like is the idea of what would happen if you had all the resources available. You had unlimited resources, how would you solve the problem? So, if Mark had tons and tons of money, maybe you just get a PA to do it for him. You get someone to go through, gather all that data for him, look at the sort of total routes, come up with some nice little itineraries for him and say, oh, these are the best ones, this is quite cheap, but this one's really fast. And that's what our product does. So, but the way we did that is that we don't have money to give everyone a PA, so we automated that process. But that's one way of thinking about it. How are you going to solve the problem? What if you had loads of resources, and then how can you automate that? How can you make it better? So our engine goes off, it crawls the web, brings together all that data, and finds you the best results. Alternatively, you can try looking out there and seeing what good solutions already exist, and what problem could they solve. So applying things in different contexts. So I'm an engineer by background, so maybe I'd look at all of this cool new non-sticky material. What can we make not sticky? Frying pans or this, that, the other. But also you can look at business models or new ways of doing things. Look at Love Film and how they're delivering DVDs to people's houses, and so that you don't have to go to the video store anymore. Well, why should people still go to libraries? Why not have library books delivered to your house? You don't have to worry now about taking your DVD back to the store. Why have to worry about renewing your library book? You just pay a subscription, keep the book as long as you want, paste it back when you're finished, get it. So how can you apply other sort of other neat solutions that you come across to new problems. So 2 ways of doing it. Now, I'll tell you a little story. The year before I was one of the winners of Idea Idol with the Zoombu idea, I entered Idea Idol and with exactly the same idea, and it didn't get through the first round. And I don't blame OE or the judges or anything for that, because the thing is, you've got to get that idea across to people in a really clear way. Because it was the same idea, but with my 100 words the first time, and it's a bit different now, I have 3 questions, but the first time I did it, someone who was quickly looking through it was like, why do I care? What, why? So what I was thinking is, first of all, so you come up with a problem, just make it very clear at the start. What is the problem you're trying to solve? Who does it affect? Booking travel online sucks, or it costs far too much to buy a pair of glasses or something. Just say, what is the problem, and very quickly, how are you going to solve it? And make sure you run that sort of explanation past as many people as you can. I know it's nice to keep your idea secret, but you run it past your mum, your grandma, your sister, your little brother, anything. But just kind of keep running it past loads and loads of people to make sure that they completely understand that idea. You've got it really concise. So it's not just obvious to you, it's obvious to the person who's flipping through the ideas, that they really get it. To conclude, Idea Idol, really worth doing. Try to submit as many ideas as possible, and then thirdly, just make sure you communicate that idea as concisely as you can. It's nice that you've got 3 questions, you've got the opportunity to say, talk about the market, to say how many people have this problem, how much money are they spending, how much money can you spend. There's an opportunity for putting those extra stats in, which lets you keep your summary of actually the idea, the problem and the solution really short. So good luck with this all, and I'll hand over to the guys from BOCC Medical.